Hello, welcome to a new video. I'm Estelle Designs, both here on YouTube and Instagram, and I make fantasy costumes. Now, you can probably already tell from the title, but this video is going to be about trying on wedding dresses. But hint, hint, I will be making my own wedding dress. And this is the first video as part of a whole video series that I'll be doing on my YouTube channel about the journey of making my dress. Currently, at the time of recording this video, it is January 2024, and the photos that you're about to see of me trying on wedding dresses actually happened a couple of years ago. In, I think, the end of 2022, my sister was looking at wedding dresses for herself, and she was very set on what she wanted. So we took the opportunity for me to try on some wedding dresses and get a sense of what shapes and styles that I liked on my body shape, since I think I was feeling a bit down, that I wasn't sure what suited me, and I knew that I would need a lot of time to work on this dress. And maybe a little spoiler here, but I had already selected some of the fabric for my dress earlier in the year of 2022. And I just wanted to know what I could do with it. So that's where this all stemmed from. And yeah, we're just going to go through the photos and the footage that was taken on that day of trying on dresses. And I guess this is a great way for you to learn about what I liked, what I didn't like, and the elements that I would be taking forward into making my own dress. So I've got my laptop down here and it's got all of the photos from that day. And I guess we'll just be talking through each of them as I tried them on. So dress number one was a beautiful chiffon dress. It was an A-line style with a corset bustier style top. And because I love having sleeves, I added some sleeves on. I did that at the store because they just had these little like elastic sleeves that you could just slip onto your arms with any of the dresses that they had in the store. What I loved about this dress was the fabric. I loved the floatiness of the chiffon. I loved how the skirt draped, how it flowed, how it was pleated. And I loved the train at the back. It was this huge train with the chiffon draped over the satin underlay fabric. And I think really that was all it had going for it that I really liked. The top part of the dress I was not fond of at all. I think personally I don't like the exposed boning that's shown. I didn't like the cup sort of look on the bodice. To me it just looks a bit more like undergarments, and yeah, I just think that it's not my style, but I did like the fabric that was chosen for this dress. The back had buttons. I wasn't too fond of those either. I don't really think I'm a buttons person at all. So dress number two, this was something that I saw online and I really liked it on the model online. And it's also a dress style that I know that I love, because I've worn this similar dress style with non-wedding dresses, obviously, throughout the years. So deep V neck, a deep V in the back, long sleeves, A-line style, natural waistline, like all of those things tick my boxes. However, when I tried this dress on, something looked odd about it on me. I think the bust cups where they were positioned just didn't work well for my body type. It felt like the sleeves were always sort of coming off a bit. The sleeves themselves were quite loose and baggy. And I think just generally, I think this really opened my eyes to realize that the type of lace that you choose as well definitely impacts the overall look. And I think this lace in particular looked very classic and timeless, I guess, but I think I was looking for something more modern, more fresh, and just more unique. I think I am really drawn to this dress because it does remind me of Kate Middleton's dress that she wore for her wedding. And I think that's something that, you know, is a beautiful, classic, timeless look, but I just don't think it's me. And that's okay. That's okay for me to put something on that I thought that I would really love, only to find out that I really don't like it. And I think it's good to try on those sorts of dresses. It had a beautiful train. I really liked the scalloped edge with that continued lace motif all along the hem of the dress. And I did really like the deep V back. Everything else about this dress, not so much. So let's move on to dress number three. This one was like sheer-ish bodice with that exposed boning. I don't like those things. but that's what the dress had. I did, however, love the lace on this dress. I think the lace has a very organic fantasy feeling, which is of course my vibes. And I liked the placement of the lace, and I think I liked the 3D effect of the flowers and the leaves on this one. I also really enjoy the neckline. It's the more straight across neckline, and it had the thick straps on the shoulders, so they don't dig into your skin, and I think they just work well for my body type. I am quite broad on top with wide shoulders, and I think anything that's too thin for straps, they just dig into my skin and they just look a little bit, it just makes the dress look ill-fitting on my body type. So the skirt, it's nowhere near as pleated as the first skirt. It's quite, like it just splays out from the waist. It's not gathered, it's not pleated at the waist at all. So it just skims over your hips and then it goes out into a beautiful A-line shape with a beautiful train. I will say that the fabric on this one felt super, super synthetic. And you could tell that there was a lot of weight in the skirt because of all of the layers of the fabric and also the crinoline horsehair braid throughout the hem of the skirt. It does help with the structure and keeping the train lay nice when you walk, but I think it was just too heavy for what I wanted. I felt like I was trying to drag it along with me everywhere I went, and I just wasn't a big fan of that. But I do really like elements of this dress, and I think in particular it's the lace and also the shape of the bodice, the straps, and the skirt. So of course we added the sleeves to this one, and as soon as we added the sleeves, I was very much in love with this style dress. Everything about it just, like, it suited my body type. I didn't feel like I was being squashed into it. It felt very me. I guess the only things that, you know, I can't change about this dress if I were to buy it, which I wasn't going to, are things like the color, and perhaps you can change the opaqueness of the bodice and put like a opaque fabric in there to make it not see-through or not that nude color, and also add on the sleeves, but those things would increase the cost, like probably astronomically. Yeah, so those sorts of things, like if I were to purchase the dress, you'd have to have a lot of these alterations made to it to make it, you know, feel comfortable to you. So I did take a lot of pictures of this dress because I really did love it. Yeah, I think if I didn't know how to make dresses, this would probably be the dress that I would have bought, but with a lot of alterations, and I would have been spending a lot of money on getting those alterations made to that dress. So dress number 4 was a little bit of a, I just wanted to try it dress because I had seen it online. Think of the very princess A-line style dresses with a big skirt, a lot of tulle and that almost organza type fabric, that very stiff hem with the horsehair crinoline braid, and then a lot of lace on the bodice. What I can say about this one is that the deep V, where the deep V was, the lace had just been like slapped on the top, and there was this weird like flower with some zigzag stitching just in the middle in that illusion lace part of the bodice. And honestly, I just felt like it looked really strange. It had like the sweetheart neckline rounded shape at the top of the bodice, and then it also had sleeves on top of that. So I just felt like there were lots of elements going on in this dress, and I just think there was a lot of mismatch happening. Like, I felt like the top of the dress didn't match the skirt of the dress. I felt like the lace on the top didn't necessarily match the lace on the skirt. Just little things like that. But it was still fun to try on and have a little twirl in. But I don't think anything on this dress I particularly liked. Dress number 5, this one, I can just say I really liked this dress. I think the color, it wasn't a stark white. I think, honestly, so many dresses are white. And if you love white, that's great, do your thing. But for me, I had already made my sister a white wedding dress. And as I was looking at a lot of dresses online, all the dresses I was just scrolling through, they just seem boring almost because they're all white. And what I really liked about this one is that there was almost like a color changing, I know it's not actually color changing, but almost like you could see different tones within the skirt. There was a bit of pink or a bit of nude and maybe a little bit of that ivory as well. And then with the lace incorporated into the design that was that brighter ivory, it could stand out more. I feel like sometimes white lace on white fabric can get a bit lost, and you can't appreciate the detail that's there. Now that's my personal opinion, so I don't want to offend anyone out there, but I really did love the color of this dress. I think I was really drawn to that, and the lace, how it started at the bodice and it would just creep down to the bottom of the skirt, to the top of the skirt, and just sort of fade out. And I really, really love that. It's different. You can tell that something like that requires a lot of handwork. It's not something that just magically appears there. It's not already on the fabric. That needs to be hand sewn to the dress somehow. So again, we added the sleeves to this dress, and I was really loving it. I think the tulle, I didn't actually think I would like the tulle as much. I thought tulle on wedding skirts looked very messy, especially when they get all pulled at the bottom, and yeah, they just become a bit messy looking and tangled. But the tulle on this was very soft, very lightweight, and I think just the way it draped, especially at the back on the train, it just really worked. And I think, yeah, it's just something that I really appreciated about this dress and really loved. Now it's quite different, this one, compared to dress number 3. The train on dress number 3 was very stiff, but on this one it was very soft and flowy. And yes, there was a lot of fabric, and yes, there was quite a bit of weight, but nowhere near as much as dress number 3. I really, really liked how this one moved behind me as I walked. And I didn't mind that it collapsed in on itself, because I just thought there was something, just something so like organic feeling about that, like it's meant to do that, as opposed to like, oh, it doesn't look nice if it's like that, we need to fix it sort of thing. So that's all just my opinion. And yeah, between dress number 3 and dress number 5, yeah, if I could just combine dress number 3 with dress number 5, I think I would have been like, yes, that is the one. But obviously I can't do that, because these are dresses that are already made in a dress shop, so you can only do so much. But I can make my own. So after dress number 5, we tried dress number 3 back on again, because I thought, yeah, between dress 5 and dress 3, I was very much like, oh, they're both really pretty, but they're both so different as well. So I think I was feeling a little bit confused at this point as to what I liked. But I tried it on again just to see if the feeling was any different. And I think the feeling was a little bit different. Like I didn't feel like, oh wow, this is the one. I just felt like, oh yeah, I really do like these other elements that weren't present on dress number 5. So just tried it on with the veil as well. That's a good tip. If you don't know if you love it or not, try it on with the veil. Maybe that will change things for you. It does make things feel a bit more official, I guess. So after taking like a million photos of that dress, the final dress I tried on was our wild card dress. And this involved my sister going out into the store to find out what dress was completely the opposite to my usual style, and pick out that dress for me to try on. So I had no idea what she was going to pick. And she ended up coming back with this beautiful, beaded, elongated sort of vintage style dress. Like to me, it felt very Great Gatsby. So much, so much handwork involved in that, like all the beads, just the way it draped and then pulled at the bottom of my feet. With its train. It was just a really gorgeous cut, really gorgeous dress. And I'm glad I tried it on, because even though it's not my style, just like the way it felt on my body, it was super heavy, but it just distributed its weight on me so evenly, so perfectly. As a person who's interested in sewing, I could really appreciate just how that felt and what a well-made dress feels like that is beaded. Again, we added some sleeves because, you know me, I can't go without my sleeves. And I think this really just upped the level on this dress. Like, it's not my style, but that there, beautiful dress, doesn't need anything else added to it. Like, that's perfect for someone who loves that style. Deep V was really nice. There wasn't anything obstructing that like illusion lace in the middle there. The sides of the dress, which I thought were really interesting, went down quite deep, which I thought was a nice touch. I think it just overall gave that very like elongated look. And I think that's a really elegant style. And I just don't think it's something that's seen as much nowadays, especially in that full beaded style, which, I mean, it's probably not seen very much because it's damn expensive, but it is still beautiful to look at. And you know, just try it on. Just try it on. If you see a beaded dress at a store, go try it on. So that leads us to the end of our little shopping trip. And I had so much fun trying on all the different style dresses. And even though I didn't find anything that was the one, which I'm glad I didn't, because it meant that I could make my own dress, which would be the one. So I hope you stick around for the rest of these wedding dress adventures, and also please let me know in the comments if you've got any other video ideas around anything wedding related. I know that I am filming this video very far in advance, so I do have other videos coming out that might be a match for your request, but if there's anything else that you can think of, I would really like to know, and I'll see if I can make that happen. I hope you're having a great day or night wherever you are in the world, and until next time, stay creative.